In almost every debate, disagreement, or online argument, you'll see it happen. Someone twists another person's words into something easier to attack. It's not an honest misunderstanding, it's a distortion. That's the essence of the strawman fallacy, a way of winning an argument by fighting a weaker, simplified, or exaggerated version of what someone actually said. The name comes from the idea of building a straw man, a fake opponent made of straw instead of flesh and bone. You destroy that version easily, but it's not the real thing. It's not the real argument. And that's what makes this fallacy so manipulative. It looks like reasoning, but it replaces dialogue with performance. Let's say someone argues that schools should spend more on mental health resources. A strawman response might be, "So you're saying academics don't matter anymore?" That's not what the person said, but now the debate shifts toward an extreme version that's easier to attack. It's a way to win without listening. The strawman fallacy reveals how uncomfortable we are with complexity. Real arguments are nuanced, layered, and often ambiguous. But nuance is hard to deal with. It takes effort, empathy, and time. So, instead, the strawman fallacy simplifies everything. It reduces ideas to caricatures, turning discussions into battles between good and evil, right and wrong, smart and foolish. In everyday life, it happens more often than we realize. When someone tells a friend, "You've been a bit distant lately," and the friend replies, "Oh, so now I'm a bad person?" That's a strawman. The first statement was about behavior, the second reframes it as a moral judgment. The actual message is lost because the defense is aimed at something that was never said. Politicians, media figures, and influencers use this tactic constantly because it's effective. The human mind loves clarity. When an issue feels messy or uncertain, we instinctively want to simplify it. The strawman does that perfectly. It makes you feel like you understand the debate, even though you're only seeing a distorted version of it. Psychologically, it also satisfies our ego. If we can turn the opposing view into something ridiculous, we can feel smarter, more logical, more morally right. It's not just about being correct, it's about protecting our identity. That's why the strawman fallacy thrives in emotionally charged conversations, religion, politics, relationships, morality. The stronger the emotion, the easier it becomes to twist words and assume motives. The tragedy of this fallacy is that it kills genuine understanding. When we build straw men, we stop listening. We argue against what we imagine, not what's real. And when we're the ones being misrepresented, we stop trying to explain. The conversation collapses into defensiveness on both sides. Nobody learns, nobody grows, and the noise just gets louder. The antidote is empathy, intellectual empathy, to be specific. That means making an effort to understand what the other person actually means before you respond. You might disagree completely, but at least you're arguing against the truth, not against your own invention. Philosopher Daniel Dennett once suggested that before you criticize someone's argument, you should be able to explain it so clearly that they would thank you for representing them accurately. Only then, he said, have you earned the right to disagree. In relationships, this matters more than logic itself. So many conflicts aren't really about the issue at hand but about misrepresentation. One person says, "I feel hurt that you forgot," and the other hears, "You're accusing me of not caring." The fight that follows isn't about forgetting, it's about identity and misunderstanding. A small strawman, but powerful enough to turn affection into resentment. We use strawmen against ourselves, too. When we fail at something, we often distort our own motives. "I'm just lazy," instead of recognizing exhaustion or fear. It's easier to attack a false version of ourselves than face the complexity of what's actually happening. The same mental shortcut applies both inwardly and outwardly. So, how do we avoid it? First, slow down your response. The moment you feel defensive or sure that the other person is wrong, ask yourself, am I replying to what they actually said, or to what I think they meant? Second, restate their point in your own words and check if you've understood it correctly. This simple act turns arguments into conversations. It doesn't mean you'll agree, but it ensures the disagreement is real, not imagined. Third, notice when others use this tactic on you. Instead of reacting emotionally, calmly bring the discussion back to the real issue. "That's not quite what I said. Let me clarify." It diffuses manipulation and restores focus. The goal isn't to win, but to understand, because understanding is what actually leads to change. The strawman fallacy is everywhere because it works. It makes arguments easier and emotions stronger. But like all shortcuts, it comes with a cost. The truth gets lost in the noise. If we want deeper discussions with others, with ourselves, or as a society, we have to learn to stop fighting ghosts. Real communication isn't about building straw men. It's about facing each other honestly, listening without assuming, and challenging ideas as they truly are. The world doesn't need more people who can win arguments, it needs more people who can understand them.